Hello, dear friends. I'll wait a few minutes and see who else comes in. So it's just me yet. But let's see where Anna is. Okay, where is she? Let's see who is here. Okay, where's Anna? Can you see me? I don't know who can see me. Well, yes, I have one person now. Okay, can you see me? Okay, let's see. So, 7. Hi, Rebecca. How are you doing? How are you doing? So, Tooth Fairy, how are you? Inherited stitches? You inherited stitches? I wish I had that person in my family. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot from my mother, and I also learned, yes, good for you, Tooth Fairy. Good for you. Take a Tylenol. It's a trick that a nurse told me, that whenever you get a vaccine, take a Tylenol just in case. Nothing happened to me on my first or second or third vaccine. But I did take a Tylenol. So, hi, how are you, Anna? Inherited stitches, isn't that funny? Okay. Rebecca, but you're going to be okay, Tooth Fairy. Just take that. I took my Tylenol like half an hour before they gave me the shot. So, but it happens. It's one of those things that we are doing. Yolanda Chavez, how are you? Good morning. You have a Latin name. Okay, all right. So I am going to talk about nice things. It's again knitting in the round, and again, because a lot of people are asking things about knitting in the round, and we have the hat. Look, isn't this cute? This is the unisex hat. Of course, if it's for a man, you take the pom-pom off. And if it's for a lady, you leave it on. So isn't this cute? I'm going to give it to my son. So the pom-pom is going to come off and I'll use it for something else. I think I'll knit something white because it would look very nice, like black and white. That would be awesome. So, and I also knitted the cow. So I think all those instructions are already on our page. So this is the cow, this is the hat. Now, let me tell you about knitting in the round when you have like a lace stitch. So Anna, could you please share the three stitch lace that I sent you on an email a little while ago? So you must have it at hand. So it's the 3-stitch lace. And what you do with the 3-stitch lace, and I was trying to make a sample here, but you whenever you knit in the round, you do not have the 2 edge stitches or whatever edge stitches that you have when you're knitting straight. So when you're knitting like this, you usually have a stitch at the beginning and one at the end, just to keep it in place. And you don't have those when you're knitting in the round because it's all stitches. So the 3 lace knitting is certain I feel reasonably certain. Way back, yes. Anyway, my grandmother didn't knit. My mother was taught by a German lady in Philadelphia, and the German lady had a yarn shop, and my mother would just go to the yarn shop and learn from the German lady, and I learned from my mother. Anyway, when you're knitting in the round, you are going to have, for example, with the 3-stitch lace, you pick up the 3 stitches through the back and knit them. Do not take them off. And then yarn over and knit them again through the back. And then you can take them off. So it's just those 3. And then on the instructions on the way back, if you're knitting straight, is all purl. Well, when you're knitting in the round, you are knitting the opposite. So if it says to purl the whole row, well, you're going to knit the whole row, because every stitch, for example, this stitch here, this stitch here looks like purl on the right side, but it's knit on the wrong side. So you are going to, if you knit in the round, you're going to knit 2 purl 4, knit 2 purl 4, but if you knit it straight, it would have to be the opposite. So when you have a knit that shows on the wrong side the stitches, let's say, or purl, or knit 2 purl 2, knit 2 purl 2, well, you do the opposite on the right side, because that's what you want to look. You do the opposite of the stitch. So that's it. And of course, I have several knitted stuff here. I have the thing with the very short circular needles, and I have double pointed needles, and I had to go buy these because I left my beautiful set from Knitter's Pride. I left it in Mexico because I'm going to be moving there, and I took the whole case and I left it there, and I don't have double pointed needles here. Thank God that we got this recently, that the Serenity set. And so I have the very long needles, size 1 to 8. So this kind of saved me. Thank you. This saved me because like that I was able to have needles, because I can use these needles for everything, like for straight knitting or whatever. For example, here I am making okay, so it is double-sided ribbing, and I am making a sample on how to knit the double-sided ribbing, but I'm still doing the video. But see, I'm using the Serenity set needles on this one also. So these are the 8, and I'm using worsted yarn, and I'm using 2 colors because one is in the front and one is in the back. And this is very interesting to make. I thought it was, for a while, people can think, it was, oh, how difficult. No, it's really simple. Anyway, my arm hurts. Yes. Well, what happens is that every time you get a shot, it hurts, even for the flu. So, and it's one of those things that happen. It lasts only a couple of days and then it goes away. So anyway, let's see. Great grandma was an original a gangster with craft. Ah, good morning, Yolanda. Her mother knitted way back in the late, yes, because it seems like it stays in the blood, and somehow I know that somewhere. Oh, my French grandmother knitted a lot. That's my father's mother. And she knitted a lot, and the whole family, French people, knit a lot, especially during the war. Even men used to knit because they needed warm things. And I know that there was a group of American women during the Second World War that knitted bandages. So with cotton yarn, and they just knit it, like this wide, and knit, because when you knit, it becomes stretchy. So they knitted bandages for the wounded soldiers. Isn't that something? So, and then way back, men knitted all the time because they needed to have their sweaters. So when they would go to ranches, I mean, like in Europe, and get their yarn from the sheep and knit. So it is not a woman's thing. It is a universal endeavor. So this is going to be very interesting once you see it, because it's the double knitting, one color on one side, another color on the other side, but you're doing all with straight needles. So this is very simple. It's just that it looks difficult, but it's not. Okay. What else are you talking about? ¿Qué cosa, Yolanda? What is it? I'm good at all right. Where are you from, Yolanda? Because I don't read a lot of the things that you write. I have oh, you have things that you made. I used to have things that my great grandmother made, um, but I gave them to my sister with minimal problems. Ah, you're going to be okay. My great grandmother was a baby in the 19th century with her mother holding her recent. When you find pictures like that, I have my ancestry all the way back to the 1200s, because I have uh, a very distant cousin in France, and he's a priest, and he got a hold of a lot of church uh, uh, papers, because they used to have the baptisms and the first Holy Communions and the weddings and all that kind of thing. And he got a hold of a lot of stuff, especially from the south of France border with Italy, from the Alps. And so the ancestry is very important. And some of the people in my family had sheep, and so they knitted. And so it's so interesting when you have your ancestry, because you know what went on and who was a priest and who well, not that they would have children, not the Catholic ones, but some were teachers, some were judges, some were a little bit of everything. The Serenity set, isn't it pretty? So yeah, it's just very pretty. So we have everything on the internet. So Thank you very much for being with us. I will show you this again for the people that were not on when we started. This is the cow, the long basket weave stitch, and we have the information of this. And then this is the latest I have made. This is the unisex hat. I put a pom-pom for a lady, take it off for a gentleman. This is a little bit large for me because I have a very small head, but this is going to be okay for my son. So this is cute. And then again, we have the double knitting, and we will have a lot of things that we have ready for you. But ice pack, yeah. Yes, moving your arm helps. Was basic Swiss, German, a little Dutch, yeah. Well, it's all in the area. Okay, let's see. What is amazing? Okay. From Debbie, where are you from? Maxton? Is it North Carolina? Neat. My brother lived in Wilmington. Hi, Thea. All right. How are you doing? From Massachusetts. José Mejía. Hola. Con todo mejor el nuevo año. Muchas gracias, José. Me da gusto que estés por aquí. Por favor, síguenos. Thank you for being with us. And yes, I always knit when I'm stressed. And what happens with me is that it's amazing how I love my job. Like if knitting was not my job, I would be knitting anyway because I love it so much. So that's a nice thing to say. So thank you very much for being with us, and I will see you next Wednesday. And be careful out there. It's still very cold, and I wish accordion style sewing box thing. Oh, accordions. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. And I will see you next Wednesday. Love you all. Take care and drink a lot of fluids, drink a lot of water. And then when it's cold, we forget to drink water. So, or tea, or, coffee in the morning, but tea, or, even if it's for warming up, but drink a lot of water. Thank you. Bye-bye.